Yes! Ever since 1947, when video games were first invented, the field has been a growing industry and hobby. But as it's grown, there's been the development of professional leagues where gamers are paid to play. This development has spawned a debate. Can gamers, whether amateur or professional, be considered athletes? In the 67 years since Thomas Goldsmith Jr. and Cecil Ray Mann patented an interactive electronic game, gaming has grown from a quiet, little-known hobby to a $66 billion industry, according to Reuters. What's more, leagues like Major League Gaming now pay gamers to play in the same way that the National Football League and Major League Baseball pay their own athletes. But are those gamers athletes like professional sports players? And what about amateur gamers? If college sports players are called student athletes, can't amateur gamers also be considered athletes? The question is not an easy one to answer. Surprisingly, the opinions on this question are not as cut and dried as you might expect. One might think all gamers would very strongly stand on the side of gamers being athletes. However, that's not the case, as even some gamers recognize that the lack of physical activity in many games can separate gaming from more physical sports.
I think the people who play video games can be considered athletes in their own way. Instead of using their body more, it is still reflexive, it is still hand-eye coordination. I think that those are important for sports. And it's team building and strategy too, which is also important when compared to athletics. It's more of a athletics of the mind than of the body, I'd say.
While some may not think gamers are as much athletes as other sports players, the links are growing. Major League Gaming events are already outdrawing events like the Rose Bowl in viewership, and an increasing number of events are bringing in a very large number of viewers. And in July, the United States government began issuing P1 visas, the ones given to professional athletes, to professional gamers for the first time. Many in the gaming community are quite excited about these developments, possibly leading to an increase in quality in the gaming scene.
You know, it's one thing to love something with a passion and be a nerd or a geek, but it's another thing entirely to have somebody that's there with open arms saying, no, please do, bring that, bring the competition, bring it up another level, let everybody know what you're made of, and let people see that this is more than just twiddling your thumbs. This is as serious and competitive and intellectual as chess or checkers is. Definitely chess, maybe not checkers so much.
I think it's a great development. What you're seeing is the acceptance of gaming and the intensity of gaming paying off in ways where we're getting the recognition that we might not have gotten in the past.
And in just a few days, another link between gamers and athletes will be forged. ESPN and Major League Gaming announced just last month that for the first time, gaming will be part of their X Games Extreme Sports events. A Call of Duty invitational tournament will be held at the X Games in Austin, Texas, June 6th through June 8th. Many gamers see this as a great chance for gamers to be seen as athletes in the eyes of mainstream society.
I think that that's perfect. I think it's excellent. I think that already online, a lot of people are very aware of a lot of teams like Team Dignitas and Team Complexity that have been doing things like StarCraft and League of Legends and Call of Duty for a while. And this is going to help bring in everybody else who doesn't realize just how big and popular esports have really become.
Those opposed to the idea of gamers being athletes would point to a number of studies that link gaming to things like violent behavior and health problems. However, there's an equally large number of studies that show gaming has strong benefits in the area of brain activity and even athletic properties like hand-eye coordination and reflexes. For more information from and on these studies, you can see the written article connected to this report at SeanTheSportsGuy.com. There are many who do not consider gamers to be athletes because the stereotypical picture of the gamer is rather unathletic. If gamers are to be considered athletes, that image will need to change.
I definitely think that there's still that stigma that people who play video games, that they're nerds, that they're geeks, that they should be looked down on, and that's going to be very, very tough to break. That just comes with time and with patience, and as the world of esports slowly grows bigger and bigger and more people become aware of it, and they see that that's not exactly the case, that you have people who are just normal, everyday people who love video games that are playing these games and happen to be very good, that's slowly going to go away. But for now, there's definitely still that stigma.
But as society changes and evolves, the view of this segment of society is likely to change with it. Already, the hobbies and habits of young people are shifting away from things their parents used to do to pass the time, including sports.
I think maybe instead of poker night, people will be having LAN parties and stuff like that. I can see that being really popular. My friends do it already.
All of the studies, all of the opinions, all of the wrestling with this question, and we're still no closer to knowing for sure whether or not gamers can be considered athletes. But one thing we do know for sure is that gaming is so popular, we'll be wrestling with this question for years to come. Reporting for Full Sail University, I'm Sean Fowler.